So in this case, as long as Caleb and I have enough gear to set it up, we're good. We want to just make sure that you don't have all your eggs in one basket. If I had all the gear and I fell in and they didn't have any gear to set up this whole system, then we're in trouble. So I should have plenty of gear. I have my 2 pressics on the rope. I like to carry an additional 2 pressics, which you'll see, that'll come in handy. And I have a number of slings with me. At the very minimum, I'd want to have a single and a double. And I'd probably want to have 4 to 6 carabiners. Ideally a mix of locking carabiners and non-locking carabiners. All right. Hopefully this will go smoothly.
Falling!
You alright?
Yeah.
You got her?
Got her.
Okay, I'm going to get up slowly. Let me know if you're having any problems.
Okay.
Are you alright? You got her?
Got her.
Okay. Great. We'll come down in here in just a minute.
Okay.
So I have my handy pole here, which I'm going to potentially use as a probe. Because the last thing I want to do is to fall into a crevasse myself. That would definitely complicate things. Hang on, Caleb. I'll be with you in a minute.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shorten the rope, basically relay myself by sliding my pressics up. And I'm just kind of looking around. If I see anything that looks suspicious, probe that. I'm looking around for potential snow bridges. Try to be particularly careful when I get close to my resting climber here. Looks pretty crevasse free to me. Pretty good. And I'm going to go down below you a little bit. Got her? Good. Good. I'm going to go a couple feet below Caleb. I'm going to be very careful not to pull on him. And you guys are all going to need to come in here and see what I'm doing next. This is my rescue cordelette. It's about 10 feet long. Some people carry longer ones, but I find this generally works pretty well. You'll know what I'm tying there, right? And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tie what's called a releasable hitch. Okay, there's a couple different kinds. The one I'm going to show you is called a mariner's hitch. And I like it because it's really easy and it's really fast. So I wrap the carabiner twice, and then I'm going to wrap the 2 strands going to the pressic about half a dozen times. When we've done that, what you do is you split the 2 strands, put the tail through, and snug up those wraps. Okay, you can get up slowly. have you go ahead and sit down. And dig in your heel pretty well. Sorry? That's fine. Okay. And then just have your ice axe ready. Okay. So it looks like everything's holding really well. So that's just a quick anchor with a releasable hitch connected to a pressic. And that will make this person much happier. Okay. Much happier. Okay. At this point, I potentially could go down and check on my fallen climber, but the system really isn't backed up at all at this point. And no matter what kind of rescue system you end up using, you're probably going to need one really good anchor here. So what is that?
One more.
Building a 2-point anchor. The snow is really good. You could go for a picket hooked into the top. If the snow is a little sketchy, what do you think you'd do?
Point.
Yeah, exactly. Feeling pretty good about the snow. Go ahead. Get my second picket.
And whatever it is, you can shoot of each.
Yeah. It needs to be a really good 2-point anchor. So actually what I'm going to do at this point tangled a little bit. I'm going to go down and check on my climber and see how she's doing. Okay, so I'm going to give myself a little bit of slack here. And I'm going to connect myself into this anchor rather than just being on Caleb. Okay. All right. Let's see how I've connected myself to this anchor here. Pull back. And I'm going to head down. And again, I'm going to be looking around and making sure that there's no other crevasses I might fall into. If I have any questions or issues about that, I'll do some probing, and I'll be especially careful when I get close to the point where she fell in. Okay? And I'm just going to draw kind of an imaginary line here of where that is. I might even just kind of get down on my hands and knees. And I don't even necessarily need to see her, but I want to be able to make verbal contact, okay? Rebecca, are you okay?
Yes, I'm cold, but I'm okay.
All right, do you think you can ascend out on your own?
No.
No?
No.
Are you hurt?
No, my hands are frozen though.
Okay, all right, well we'll set up a pulley system and haul you out.
Okay,
Okay?
great.
It'll just take a few minutes. You
Okay.
gonna be all right?
Yes.
All right, perfect. All right, now at this point, we've made the decision that we're going to haul her out. Okay, she's not going to ascend out on her own. We don't have another rope team to do a team haul, that sort of thing. So we are going to set up a pulley system and haul her out. We're going to, in this scenario, we're going to say that the rope's not too deeply buried. Okay, That's just a little bit of a simpler scenario. If the rope was deeply buried into the lip of the crevasse, we're going to have to figure something else out. And what that would involve is for me to actually disconnect from my rope, and I could lower this rope down to her, and we could pull her out on that. Okay. But in this case, we're just going to do it on the rope that she another scenario is if she was badly injured, maybe I actually need to go down and give some first aid. And in that case, what I would do is I would disconnect from my rope and put in a moonter hitch, or if you had a rappel device, you could use that. But I potentially could rappel down to her. Okay. And then I'm all set to sit back out. Definitely a little more advanced, but just there's some scenarios that you want to be thinking about. Alright, so what I need to do now is I need to prepare the lip and try to minimize the amount of friction that the rope's going to have when we start pulling it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect my ice axe. And I might actually have to need to kind of do some work on the lip to make it easier for her to get out. If I do that, it's a good idea to warn your person. Hey Rebecca, there might be some snow coming down.
Okay.
Okay. If it's really bad, I might even use a shovel to kind of dig it out a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit down. And maybe I could have someone just kind of push down on the rope. Down below. Okay, so kind of imagine that the rope is down in the snow. And then I'm going to take my ice axe and slide it underneath. And make sure that I'm snug against my anchor. And I'm going to take this thing as far in and down into the lip of the crevasse as I can. And then hanging on to this. And then I'm going to anchor this. Okay, then I'm going to go back to my anchor, and at this point I'm going to set up my Z-pulley system. So you might want to come in and see what I'm going to do there. I'll go ahead and disconnect from this. Okay, do you all see what I'm doing here? Okay, Caleb, you should be able to get up a little bit. And this is still going to have a load on it, right? Go ahead and release this.
Why release it?
I need this rope to set up my Z pulley system. Should have been a little more mindful, just making sure that's not slipping. I'm doing my Alright, so Caleb, what I'm going to have you do is unclip from the rope and untie your knot. Close to that lip there. Okay. We're going to have a whole lot of space to work with, but enough. Okay, what do we have here? Okay, so you can back up towards me and make sure your pressings are set. Actually, I'm going to slide them towards the pulley. And now Caleb and I are both set up that we can pull. So let's start slowly. Let's make sure that our auto block is working properly. Can you give us a little more? Lean back really hard. Okay, so this is a little bit off. I'm going to pay close attention to this because it can sometimes get fouled up. Okay. Let's go ahead and pull. Okay, that's not working. So I think what happened here is I actually gave it one too many wraps. Can you pull a little bit for me? And do it once. I've actually never had that happen to me before. It's had that happen now. Okay. Let's try it now. There we go. Okay. Okay. Dig in, pull. Okay, that's probably about it. Now let's let go slowly and see if the auto block grabs. So go forward. Yeah, it looks okay. And if it didn't grab, what I could do is I could stay here and hold this while Caleb slid his pressings on. Okay. So now he could reach it and he could set it if we were having that issue. Okay. Alright. Go ahead and slack the system up a little bit. We're going to walk back down. Okay. You can actually slide the pressing up on the rope.
Watch out.
No, yeah. again. If Caleb and I needed a little bit more pulling power, what we can do is sit in the snow, put out the seat, dig your heels in. Keep your feet where they are, slide your butt forward until your knees are really bent. Okay. Slide your press six up.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say ready, and we're going to pull. Ready, pull. Okay, slide your press six up. Bend your knees. Slide your press six up. Okay, I'm going to do mine. Ready, pull. Okay, slide up, on your knees, ready, pull, and so on, and so on, and so on. Okay. I mean, if you're really having a hard time pulling, you can get a lot of pulling power that way, along with your 3 to 1. Okay. So I don't think we need to. So let's get up again. Walk backwards. Okay, stop. Okay, let's see if it sets. Okay, go forward. Okay, holding. Then we walk forward and reset the pressing. It would be really unusual to be this close to the crevasse, but I shortened up the rope for demonstration purposes. Let's say that Rebecca's getting really close to the lip of the crevasse and is having some issues getting across. Like we could actually come down this direction, and I potentially could, like, give her a hand just to get her up that pass a little bit there. But looks like she's not quite out. And this is a really critical spot when she's getting pretty close. So let us know, Rebecca, if you need any help.
I'm good.
You're good.
Yay, I got over.
Alright, go ahead and keep a little weight on it.
Just fell back over. Fell back.
Go back here. Back of the crowd.
So one thing I like to point out about this system is there's a fair amount of redundancy here. Sometimes what I see people do in these rescue situations, they actually connect themselves to the anchor as a backup, but we are connected to the rope with these two press-sticks, so that helps protect us. If we were to fall into a crevasse, not ideal, but at least we're connected to something. And basically, if any one of these things fail, there's something there to back it up. If I took a pair of scissors and cut that, you've got this. If this auto block failed, we're still pulling on the system, etc. We've got two carabiners here to help back things up. So it's pretty well backed up, I'd say. Alright, so that's quite a lot of information.